ストーリー新たなチャプターへメロディと共に聴いてくれさあ行こう俺の秘密見たいか知りたいか怪獣の子が生きること秘密謎強制され隠さなければ誰もが知らない不思議に包まれてる不思議に運命を分け合うため早く人気になりたい誰だってみんな違うんだみんなと共になりたいやばいやばいどうしたらいいの夢は人気になるほど時たち君と過ごせば夢に連れてく潔らなるな日常は充実して通学も青春なんてすがな無駄じゃないだって君がいるからつながっているんだ
Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. It's the last day of November. Today we're saying goodbye to November. We're also saying goodbye to this live 2D model. This is the last time I'm going to be using this. Well, at least on my channel. I will not be streaming until Sunday next week with my brand new model during my brand new model debut. So this is it. I will, however, be appearing on Belle's channel, Belle's Twitch channel, to continue our Little Nightmares 3 playthrough on Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But as far as my channel goes, this is the last time. This is the last time you're gonna be seeing this. Will you remember all those sweet days in November? That's crazy. That's not how that goes. Thanksgiving was good. The weekend has been stressful, but it's been good. Good things are happening, you guys. And we're gonna talk about some of that today. Today I'm answering a lot of questions that are being asked anonymously. Let me actually start up the vertical. I do want to do a vertical YouTube today. Just to get a little more attention out there regarding the auditions, because the auditions are live. They've been live for a week. They've been live for a week today, and there have been some really strong auditions. So let's get some more competition up in there. Let's get some more competition up in there. It's already gonna be some tough choices being made. Tell you what. Did I eat pie? I sure did. I ate some pecan pie. My mom made some pecan pie. And we went to her work thing. And she said I was allowed to go. And I hit on all of her coworkers. And she said I'm not going next year. Score. Now I can stay home and play video games with my computer friends. Hopefully at least one of the classmates has a little rasp to their voice. Are you talking about me? Wait a minute. A little rasp to her voice. I can't comment on that because my classmates have not been decided. If you know what I mean. Anyway. It's now Christmas time. Yeah. I'm not doing it again. NDA. It's so true. I will be revealing something later tonight, though, after we answer some questions. After we answer some questions regarding the, After we answer some questions regarding the auditions, I am going to show you guys something. For the first time. I got the new logo for VZatsu Conspiracy, the first wave of talent, the first unit. And it's really cool, and I can't wait to show you the logo. I'm not going to take any questions about the logo, though. I'm just going to show it to you. That happens later. Have I been to the ER hospital? For what? I feel like you're about to deliver a pickup line or something to me. How are auditions going so far? They're going great. Some really good auditions. I'm impressed. I've been impressed multiple times already. I'll have some tips too. After I answer some questions, I think I will have some tips. But I'm gonna let some people get in here and get ready before I start answering questions. However, in the horizontal live, on the big screen live, not the cell phone live, on the wide one, not the tall one, there is a message pinned to the chat. You can go there to anonymously ask a question regarding the auditions. Or about VZatsu in general. Then I'll be looking at those and answering them in just a little bit. My favorite game is Amori. I love Amori. Joke's on you, I'm on my phone! You can be on your phone and have it widescreen, that's fine. You would ask for a Chizu Padodu. But she might send everyone Yuri and Gunpla. Padodu, Padodu. I'm trying to come up with some songs. I want to do some songs. I want to sing some songs on my debut. And I think I might cover some songs like ᴡᴜᴇᴏ. I've been singing that one a lot lately. I like it. You have a crush on me? Don't send me a confession like that. Come on now. Do that anonymously so I can be like, oh, how sweet. But now I know who you are. And my mom saw that, so you probably got put on her list. So be careful. A holiday album? What, like Jay Schlatt's 1999 Christmas? I can't be your girlfriend. My mom won't let me date. And if you heard a rumor on another streamer's chat today, don't tell my mom about that. I really like her and I don't want my mom to murder her. Jay Schlatt? I just saw like a Jay Schlatt Christmas album on YouTube today. Hurricane from Nikkei's 3rd anniversary? I haven't heard that one. That would be crazy. Speak of the devil. Apparently, my wife is in chat. Ah, man. Was it legit or AI? That's a good question. I know that he had some people trying to make him do AI songs, and he was like, screw it, I'm just gonna release my own album. With my real voice, because AI is stupid. And I made a rule about that too. A year or two ago. I was like, no, you cannot use my voice for that. Okay, I'll be cool. Since you like Love Live, what's your favorite Jin? I didn't say I like Love Live. I'm not super knowledgeable. I just like that song. Oh no, fake fan. Oh no, self-reporting. No, stop asking me to be your girlfriend. That's weird. My mom will let me date. My mom knows how to kick down doors. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. I was actually listening to so I have a mix that comes on a lot, and the Hololive Justice cover of ᴡᴜᴇᴏ's been on it a lot lately. That's what I've been listening to in particular. Favorite K-pop song? Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. I really like Twice. What is Love? That is such a good song. All right. Are you guys ready? Are you ready for me to start answering some questions? Some of these deep burning questions? What does this even say? What is this message? If the nights without your heart weren't real, I would lose myself completely in your love because your eyes are the only true path. I have to find your love in a sea of tears. That sounds so romantic. Is that a song? Or did you just make that up? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oh my god, I have moderators. That's so suspicious. That's so suspicious. All right. All right, I'm going to start answering some questions that are on this Marshmallow page. If you want to ask some questions anonymously, check the link that's in the horizontal live. That's where you find it. Maybe they were asking about open positions. You're probably right. We had moderator applications open. They're technically still open, but I'm not looking for moderators right now. I just got some new ones. Yeah, I play War Thunder sometimes, but it's been a long time. A really long time since I played that. Green, but why? Because I like being green. If you ever look at the coyote's, like, coat, the way it mixes with, like, a blondish color and a brownish color, it kind of looks green, so I liked the idea of being green. All right. Let's see what we got. Oh my god, that's a lot of questions all of a sudden. I just got like 20 new questions like in the last 5 minutes. That's scary. I'm scared. Okay, if there's repeats, I'm gonna deletes. Okay. How many people will the first gen be? I can't answer that question right now. All right, hold on. Let me get through these. I gotta get through these. If you want to ask a question, ask on the Marshmallow first. I will take live questions from the chat after I get through these. Has anyone ever recognized me in public? Technically, yes, but that was because I had the name Chizu on my name badge at Offkai last year. Okay. So, first question I got. Oh, it says load more. Hold on, I gotta load all these questions first. All right. So the very first question on here, I gotta read it to make sure it's a valid question first. Some of y'all be asking some troll questions. I know it. I know it. There are a lot of questions all of a sudden. A bunch. All right. This question is, what is the first thing your talents to do if they are successful? What are the team's biggest challenges right now? And what can we do to help you? Okay. Let's start with the first part. What is the first thing your talents will do if they are successful? That question is hard to answer because how do you define what success is? I want to be clear about how things are going to work. My agency is going to be process focused, not results focused. So like somebody that gets more views or more money is not necessarily going to be put on a higher pedestal or something like that than anybody else. As long as everybody's working together, we're vibing, we're having a good time, we're coming up with cool projects and getting stuff put out there into the world, we're getting along good, we're following the process, that's all that matters. That's all that matters to me. And I believe that in doing things that way, the success will come. The success will follow that. Got it? Okay, that's the first part of that question. The second part of that question is, what are the team's biggest challenges right now? Budget. We're small. We're small. So that means stuff has to take a little bit of time, right? But we want to make sure that there's not a bunch of fingers in the pot, there's not a lot of cooks in the kitchen. I want the talent to have more creative control over what we're doing, rather than investors or anything like that aren't actually part of the process having control over what we're doing. That's super important to me. I also don't want to start this project off with a bunch of debt. That is also bad. That's also bad. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's bad, but I mean, like, that's not the direction I want to go. That's how I should say that. But things are going okay. I just think that is the biggest challenge. Money is always the biggest challenge. But that's okay. We got this. What can we do to help you? Just continue supporting. Right now, it's just me. Right now, because no other talents have debuted yet. So, your support of me, my channel, is a support directly to everybody else that's going to be coming in the future. Okay? That's the best way to support. However, we also have a Patreon. Patreon.com/VZatsu. Early adopters to the conspiracy support have an opportunity to get exclusive merch through this that you will not be able to get anywhere else. Check that out. That's probably the best way. Because that goes directly to everything. But also everything you guys financially do to support me goes to this too. So whatever. That's it. Word of mouth too. Just, you know, say nice things to people. Forfeit all mortal possessions to the Yodi? No! Forfeit it to VZatsu though. Alright. I hope I answered that question appropriately. How do I say that? Mark as read. Cool, okay. I don't want to delete it. I just want to mark it as read. Nice. Alright, next question. Let's see. I have heard as always from many agencies that you do a revenue share with your talents. I want to know what you will do with it. Will you be using that to pay staff? Or is the rev share used as savings? Okay. I think this question is basically asking the money that goes to the company from talent generated stuff. What are we gonna do with that? That money goes to paying staff, which as of right now, there's only two. Right? There's me, but I don't get paid. I'm a talent. I don't get paid like that. And we have ᴠɪᴅᴇᴏ, our social media manager, who's been very great to work with. Love that guy. And ADK, our editor on staff, who I love that guy too. Great. Love working with him. Has done amazing work. Just look at my shorts. He does really good work. So a portion of that would go towards that, but majority of it is to fund projects like original song covers, events, model updates, whatever. Just stuff like that. Maybe other stuff as things continue to grow, but right now the goal is to just help fund things to put on our YouTube channels and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. All right. My eye is itchy. Let me scratch that for a second. Oh, man. That kind of feels good. Okay. Back to the questions. Okay. Also, remember, put your questions in the link in the horizontal chat, please. I will answer live questions when this dries up and there's no questions in here anymore. All right, so the question here is, do you have a plan? Hold on, let me read this again. Do you have or plan to have talent managers? And if you need more, where can I apply to help? And what would the requirements be? Currently, we are not looking for a talent manager because it's just me. And while the incoming revenue is just from me, and it's just me that would be getting managed by a talent manager, I would much rather just handle all of those things myself right now. Whenever the debut is getting closer for everyone, I may revisit that. But if you are interested in something like that, if you are interested in working in that capacity with VZatsu in some form of staff, as some form of staff, or like, what's the word I'm looking for that starts with a C? Consultant. Feel free to send us a message through our business email, team@vzatsu.com. And please have a very clear description of what you plan to offer and your credentials, experience, portfolios, whatever. Put that stuff in the email. Cool. All right. One second. Okay. Next question. Is there an age limit for auditions? Also, is there specific content, or is this just to see any possible streamers' other occupations? I'm not... Okay, I don't understand the last part of this question, but I will answer the first part. An age limit, like a cap? Like, if you're a hag, you can't join? Is that what the question is? Like, no. But, like, there is a minimum. You gotta be 18 to be eligible to audition. And there is a question later that's like, my 18th birthday is a month from now. Can I audition? I'm just gonna be as nice as I can possibly be right now, and I say no. Sorry, try again next year if we have auditions for Gen 2. That's my stance on that. Please, I'm so sorry. With all due respect, you know. Sorry. Okay. Next question. Okay, so... this is a two-part question, and this one is gonna be a frequently asked thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and answer this right now. This part... Okay, so... I've gotten a lot of questions about gender. People asking if it's okay to audition if you're a guy. And the eligibility requirements right now are you have to be living 100% woman daily. Your daily life. Everybody knows that you live as a woman. Okay? That might be confusing for some people, but it is worded that way for stability reasons. There are other criteria that we look at for stability, like assessment that don't have anything to do with that, okay? But that's just one of them, because we've had a lot of people asking about it. And it's not meant to, like... Hold on. Golly. This... It's not meant to be, like... exclusionary. That's not the meaning of that. That's not why it's like that. It's not meant to exclude anybody. It's just strictly a stability thing. Because, like, it wouldn't be fair... to a talent or VZatsu for someone to audition and then have like an identity event during their life or during that first year or any year, whatever. It wouldn't be fair to make like a commitment like that and then have a big change happen that's gonna totally uproot your life. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. Now, if the way you identify fits the definition, the other criteria regarding that stuff doesn't matter. I've had a lot of questions about if my voice sounds a certain way, Can I still audition? Yeah, as long as you still meet the other requirements. Okay? Does that make sense? It's not about how you sound. Right? It's not about that. It's specifically just about life stability. Okay? I hope that helps. I really do. Because it's a difficult thing to deal with personally. And it's also a difficult thing to talk about. Okay. The second part of that is this question, the second part. No, it's not a deep talk time. We're fine. We're moving on. It's just, I know there's several questions here that have to do that, so I wanted to get that one out of the way. Second part of this question. Do we get to keep our current design / identity if we join? No. This is not an adoption style audition. There are two pre-established personas that you will be auditioning for. And you get to choose from one or two. There's two of them you get to choose from. Okay? So. Hope that answers that question. Okay, moving on. Yeah, I'm not adopting anybody. I'm so sorry. No adoptions. All right, mark as read. When the audition form says, are you currently applying to other agencies, does the answer affect the odds of you getting in? No, it just helps us figure out what we should talk about during an interview. If we decide to pull you in for an interview. That will not actually have a determining effect on whether or not you get to the next step. How big is the team at VZatsu? Currently, it is just me. And it's me and 3 others. Don't worry about that. It's like we've got editor and a manager. We're going social media manager. Cool. Small question regarding auditions. Are applicants required to have adequate material like iPhone for VBridger? Okay, VBridger. If you do not have iPhone tracking, that's okay. That is not a deal breaker itself. If you don't have a computer, well, yeah, we don't have the budget to give you a whole setup. If you don't have a decent microphone, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. If you make it to the interview stage and you don't have a decent microphone, we can talk about it. If you need a little help with some stuff, we'll talk about it. But if you need a whole computer setup, probably, yeah, we can't help you with that one. Another thing would be internet. If your upload speed isn't the best, well, we'll have to talk about that, because part of the model of this stuff is right now I'm streaming horizontally to YouTube and vertically to YouTube at the same time, and that takes a bit of upload. So if you only got 10 megabits up or something, we might have to have a talk about it. Let's see what this question is. Okay, super hyped for the auditions when you mentioned staying in character as the persona you've chosen. Does this mean we are auditioning while portraying the specific character we're auditioning for, or are we acting for our character of choice? Okay. So, for the auditions, part of it is making a video. I personally want to see your ability to be in character. I want to see you be in character. I want to hear you talk about why you want to be in VZatsu, but I also want to hear you be in character. I want to see 2 of those things. You got 5 minutes. That's more time than you think, but it's also less time than you think. It's kind of whatever. Just I want to see both of those things. So like you can open, like if you know anything about voice over auditions or don't, let me explain this to you. There's a thing called slating. You slate your audition with hi. Like if I was doing it, I'd be like, hi, my name is Chizu ᴠɪᴅᴇᴏ. I'm auditioning for blah, 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 blah. And then you do the thing. Which for this, it would just be like a very brief hi. My name is this. Here's why I want to be in I'm auditioning for VZatsu. I think it would be blah 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 blah. And then show me how you can be these characters. Please do not put in an audition video that doesn't like it don't give us something that looks like it could have been in any audition. If it's just I copy and pasted all my answers from another audition application and just use the same video I used in 5 other auditions, we can tell. We can tell. We can tell. All right. Boop, 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 boop. Will talents be given a whole stream package like overlays, alerts, logos, art, debut prep, etc.? The plan is currently to assist with a just chatting background, a chat widget, logos, which are already done, the live 2D model, which will be illustrated by the same artist that has made my model that I'm debuting next week, and rigged by me. So I also rigged my model that I'm debuting next week. All of that stuff taken care of by us at no cost to the talent. If the talent wants to contribute voluntarily, there's a path for that. But that is not a requirement. These things will be taken care of by the company. Okay. When can applicants expect to hear back regarding an audition, assuming they make it to the next stage? Me and the people reviewing these auditions will have made a decision closer to when the auditions are closing, which will be midnight Pacific time, Christmas Eve morning. So that's 0 hours on December 24th. That's when auditions will be closed. And then at that time, probably after Christmas, because I don't want to send a message, we've sent out all the emails on Christmas, and then break a bunch of people's hearts on Christmas, because I can tell you from experience, that shit sucks. Getting an interview in an agency and then finding out on Christmas Day that you didn't get in fucking sucks. Just saying. I'm not gonna do that to people. We'll wait till after the holiday. Let people enjoy their holiday and not be super, super sad. Stressed, maybe a little bit. Can't do anything about that. But sad, absolutely not. I don't want to be responsible for a blue Christmas. I'll wait till the day after at least. Is that last question, would that include stream tools like Hoji? If you mean like TTS and stuff, to an extent. I have personally put a lot of work into making a lot of the things that work on my stream. So I would definitely be able to help other people do similar things if they wanted to do so. NDA? Yes, there are NDAs. Okay, I'm going back over to these questions. I'll take more questions from chat when these are all taken care of. Yeah. So, probably the week between Christmas and New Year's is when we will reach out to people about interviews and start doing interviews and announce that the auditions are closed and stuff. Or not necessarily in that order. Does the amount of experience we have streaming matter, or does voice acting ability matter more? Voice acting is a preferred skill, not a required skill. Streaming experience is preferred, but also not required. If somebody was a voice actor but never was a VTuber before and they auditioned, that alone gives them just as much of a chance as somebody that has experience being a VTuber. That's not a determining factor. But stuff like that helps. All right, this is a similar question. I already answered that one. All right. This person asks, hello, I was one of the earlier entries on day 1. Honestly, at the time I was proud of my submission, but I keep overthinking and I was very nervous when recording, but just wanted to submit. Can I re-record a new audition or no? Unfortunately, I don't know that would be fair to a lot of people if I was to say yes. So I'm gonna have to say no at this time. I'm sorry. But like, if you want to send an email, not with the video, with a new video, maybe we can talk about it a little bit, and I could at least, you know. Yeah, just send an email. Just send an email. All right, let's see. Do you care if applicants have a content creation history that's more on the adult side? Or does that not really affect your opinion of the applicant too much? Being involved with adult entertainment is not a deal breaker. That would not affect your audition. Due to the fact that we're not adopting people. This is like you coming into a new role with a new persona and leaving your past life mostly behind and like not really being super explicit about those things. As long as you're not a lewd tuber while doing this, like even like that, like we don't want you to uproot your entire life to be part of VZatsu. Like if you're a part-time VTuber and you have a day job, that's okay. If that day job happens to be adult in nature, that doesn't change the answer to that, if that makes sense. Thanks, Reberry. All right. So this is a really big question with a bunch of questions inside it, which I have a lot of trouble determining whether or not these questions were asked in good faith. However, I do have, thanks to Kenny, who did a wonderful job helping me organize these questions and figuring out the way to answer them properly, because like this one question has like 18 questions built into it. It's so insane. But I have an answer for pretty much everything in it, and I'm gonna go over it now. Are you guys ready? All right, the first question is, the first part of this giant ass question is, how is the agency structured? Are you an LLC or something else? We are a small, legally registered company. We are a real company. This isn't LARPing. It's a real company. We're not gonna post the registration documents publicly. You know, if you get into an interview and you want to see that stuff, you can see it. We'll show you. It's fine. Because, like, it is available to look at, but, like, whatever. It's real. And if you want to see it, 1-to-1, we'll show it to you. if you get an interview with us. Where can we verify your registration? Right now we're only sharing detailed business registration info privately with applicants. Keeping the data internal protects the team and the talents. Privacy is important. Can you list your management and support staff? Well, right now our team is small on purpose to ensure individual support is maintained and allow us to function sustainably. We cover management, editing help, scheduling support, sponsorship, talks, and administration work between a handful of people. And in the future, we will release more information about our staff in a post coming in the near future. Thank you, Kenny, for that. That is one of, like, 19. We still got a long way to go for this question. What's your funding model? How do you use resources? Okay, we keep costs low, avoiding bloated overhead, and put most of our spending directly towards creator support. This is what I was talking about earlier, right? This comes in the forms of things like editing help, artwork, paying staff, anything necessary for production needs. Okay. Do you have HR, accounting, legal support? We don't have full HR because we're a small business. Very, very small. Super duper small. It's a very small team. We do have clear contracts, fair expectations, and setup that keeps both parties protected, and anything that needs outside review gets handled through proper third parties. Do you have media insurance or liability coverage? Not at this time, but as we grow larger, this is something we will build towards once we reach that level of infrastructure. For now, we focus on clarity, safety, and making sure talents have clean art agreements and stable support without over-promising systems that we don't have in place. Which vendors do you work with for models, rigging, and editing merch? We don't lock talents into fixed vendor lists. However, we do have some exclusivity stuff, which I cannot reveal today due to NDA. And the live 2D model artist for the models is going to be the same as mine, okay? Outside of that, we're not really locked into anything. But we do have people that we trust. We want to stay flexible so each talent can pick artists and editors that fit their style, budget, and goals. Let's see. Do you have existing relationships with other PR or other agencies, PR, or event groups? We built some working relationships over time, but we're not trying to act like a big old corpo. If a talent needs something, we work through our contacts or find the right partner for the job. Do you have contacts at Twitch, YouTube, etc. for partnerships? Well, we don't work with Twitch at this time. But we do know who to talk to when we need it. And we can guide talents through the partnership process. I am fully, like, I have AdSense partnership on YouTube. I have a partnership manager. I have those things. But our focus is on practical support, and we're not trying to promise unrealistic connections, okay? Again, this is process-focused, not results-focused. Question number 10 on this one. Can you share past external creator projects you've done? Most of the work our staff has been involved in behind the scenes stays private out of respect for the creators and other parties involved. However, hi, I'm Chizu. I have an extensive history working in the VTubing industry and have worked with many other creators to produce a variety of projects in the scene. That said, if an applicant moves forward, we can share any of that stuff you want to know. The people I've worked with, the projects I've worked on, all that stuff. We can tell you all about it. I need to take a breather to drink some of my drink here for a second. Ugh, goodness. Please keep chat relevant to this discussion. Stop being weird and spamming weird stuff, please. All right, back to business. In responses, are VZatsu talents considered part-time, full-time employees, contractors, or something else? Contractors. Due to the nature of a revenue split...
What did the cow say to the leather chair? Hi, Mom.
Thank you for the super chat. Due to the nature of revenue splitting, we don't do hourly payouts and things like that. Like wage type stuff. It's more of a contractor thing where the money generated through your activities with VZatsu, the majority of it goes to you. And I'll talk about the split. I'll talk about the revenue split in a moment. Okay, so what exactly does VZatsu do? VZatsu is a small VTuber agency. We're small. I'm 4'8", I'm small. And we aim to give our talents real structure, consistent support, and uplift them to create content. We plan to help people with scheduling, editing, weekly feedback, sponsorship talks, providing advice on ways to grow based on our own experience. Yeah. And we want to help prevent burnout. Right? The first year that I did this, I uploaded 450 TikToks. Nuh-uh. We ain't doing all that. We ain't doing all that. I'm not gonna make my talent do that sort of thing. Because I don't do that sort of thing. We have an editor to do those sort of things. It's gonna be like stuff like that. Just to help make the process work a little bit more for you instead of you working so much for the process until you burn out. That's the point. Let's see. We already answered this question about how big the team is. Team is small to keep costs low. Is this a corpo or indie style agency? It's a little bit of both. We're in between. We want the stability and structure and professionalism people usually expect from a company, but we're avoiding heavy control, pressure, and brand-first mindset that a lot of bigger corpos tend to have. Branding is important, but like, I don't know. We're not like that. It's like the difference between a big Hollywood studio movie and an independent film. Think about how those things are different. That's more TikToks than calendar days. Yeah, most days I was uploading 3 videos a day, Belle. All right. What makes us different? What makes VZatsu different? So structure, the process, that's our foundation. That's not an afterthought. That's the most important part of this whole thing. We want to provide direct support to talents with guidance and a clear path to follow. Right? We have a process. We will build that process with you, and we will trust the process. But what do we expect from you? What does VZatsu expect from talents? We expect you to show up, communicate, and, keep trying to grow and learn as a creator. Not grow as in like your audience. Grow as a person. We're not looking for the perfect person who's already done all the things. VZatsu is wabi-sabi, baby. Okay? We're looking for people that can grow into this and learn. Okay? I hope that makes sense. And while, we will handle the really heavy administration work while you get to focus on making cool stuff. Okay? As far as quotas go, I don't feel like it's very strict. 3 streams a week. 9 hours in total. That is our minimum. And like 1 big project a month. Just 1. That could be a longer video. That could be a special stream event. Anything like that. A cover song. 1 of those a month is enough. Yes, thank you. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. Yeah. Yeehaw. All right. Do you take a cut? Does VZatsu take a cut? Yes, like any agency, but our cuts only apply to revenue that we directly help you secure or manage. And we're transparent about that through the process. when we do meetings, you will see how much money is coming in and what's going out and what it's going out to. It will be very transparent. Nothing's gonna be like hidden. It's all just gonna be out there for people to see. Well, if you're in the company, I mean. Okay? If you're a talent, you will understand what your money is going towards and how much your channels are making. It won't be a secret from you. What if you can't sing? Voice lessons exist. And like, I can't promise this, but after debut happens, I would like to have some support when it comes to like skill development with things like singing lessons or voice acting lessons and stuff. I would like to be able to support that. Transparency is super important because all of the stuff that happened recently, the day I announced the existence of VZatsu, an hour later, Iron Mouse posted her video about VShojo stealing all of that money. And that company exploded in less than a day. Transparency when it comes to finances is extremely important because of stuff like that. I don't want any confusion to be there or like any obfuscation of the money that's coming in or going out. Because we're small. We can do that. We can be transparent. It's fine. And we don't have a bunch of investors telling us what to do with the money. Or telling us to not show it to our talents. Right? I get to work with the talent to make rules that make sense for everybody. I agree, Fiva. And that's why I want to do it. Because in-house development is good. And I have connections with people that would be willing to do certain things. I don't know if I can get one-to-one coaching on voice acting directly with everybody, but I could probably arrange some in-house workshops, which would be really cool. But we'll see. We'll see. If not, seats on a external workshop or something. We'll see. I have ideas, but like that's for a later conversation. Okay, so what are the cuts? How much money? How do you get to the Horizontal Live? Go to my YouTube channel. So, let's talk about the actual revenue split, shall we? All right, this is a big one. People want to know about this, and I've talked about it before, but I'm going to go over it again. The percentages that the talent, let me make sure this is how much our talent will take from the money that they generate through VZatsu productions. These are live streams, ad revenue, merch, those sorts of sponsorships, all of that kind of stuff. This is how much of that goes directly into the talent's pockets. 70% of revenue generated from streaming goes to the talent. 20% of revenue generated from merch goes to the talent. 60% of revenue generated from sponsorships by the talent goes to the talent. And anything not listed here that is authorized does not apply to this. 100%. For example, if a talent wants to open up a Vlu play, that's probably going to be authorized. And they can do one-to-one like fan requests. Make a video about this. And if they decide to do that and it doesn't take away from their other responsibilities, they get 100% of whatever they make doing that. I'm not touching that. VZatsu will not touch those things. But of course, it does have to be authorized. This means like donations. Those are like tips. We're not touching that. Are auditions open? Yeah, they're open right now! They're open right now! Can I talk to someone directly about the agency? Of course you can. We're happy to answer questions outside of this event. I will not be answering questions about auditions during streams after today. In the future, will talents also receive a baseline stipend? I don't know. Do you mean like, to buy equipment and stuff? Due to the nature of contractors, the way contractors work, probably not. But that doesn't mean no for sure. And if there ever is a way, like if the company does become successful enough to allow the talents to be actual employees and provide things like that, I would be open to the idea, but that's definitely a conversation and stuff to have internally way later. But yeah, you can message us on our official Twitter page, at VZatsu, or email us, team@VZatsu.com, if you have any questions that you want to ask directly to us. Man, that question was all one question. Just so you guys know, that was all one question. Can you believe that? That's crazy. I need a big gulp of my advanced.gg after that. Did you know you can save 10% off your order at advanced.gg by using code Chizu at checkout? And the very first available Season 3 Chizu merch of my brand new model that I'm debuting next week, that's available right now on my website. Go to VZatsu.com. There's a link to it. And you can save 10% off of that, too, with the code Chizu at checkout. Okay. Okay. Back to business. So this is almost the same question, but it has something new. Are the auditions to fill specific designs? Yes. If so, will there be any wiggle room for outfit design changes or other visual branding? After the interview, once somebody moves past the first interview, and we are determining whether or not we need to do a second interview or like a mock collab or something like that, when we get to that stage, we will probably be able to show the full design that we have already established to the talent as part of a, like, if this, do you still want this? Because like if this is just way out of line for you, you can walk away, that's fine. But if they just want little changes, things like skin tone, a piece, something different about the hair, you know, maybe a different feature here or there, just one or two things, you know, relatively small changes. I'm willing to go through the designer and pay for those changes to be made before debut is finalized. That's totally fine. There is some wiggle room. This question just says, do you have anyone in mind? I can't answer a question like that right now. Will there be more merch in general in the future? Because of NDA, I cannot say anything super specific. However, I will say that I do plan to make an announcement related to merch next week. And I don't have any official thing I can say regarding VZatsu as a whole in regards to that announcement that I will be making. That's all I can say. 6 or 7? Yes. Is it possible to have a desktop Chizu for my PC? If not, will there be wallpaper? Officially, no official plans for anything like that right now. No official answer to this one. I'm sure there will be official art, but I can't say anything specific at this time. That would be hard to answer. Desktop Chizu, though. Is that like an assistant? It would probably be more likely to see something like that from a fan work, which would fall under fan works guidelines. I don't know about an official one, though. Will you ever adopt external talents into VZatsu if they are willing to abide by certain contracts? At this time, probably not. But again, I can't speak 100% for the future. It's not likely because of the way I see things unfolding. I kind of like the magic of allowing somebody to slip into a new role with this experience. It helps with agency culture a bit more. I'm not really sure how else to put it right now. But at this time, I think probably not. If accepted, can we use our own funds to push projects and models? Short answer is yes. Short answer is yes. Long answer is it still has to be approved. There are there's in the service agreement, the talent contract, there is a clause about property, like intellectual property, and how successful completion of a contract and deciding not to continue with the company allows you to go through the IP buyout process. And there's a part in there that's like, if you voluntarily put money towards stuff that counts towards the base price of the IP, that is deducted. So like, it's like a future investment if you decide to do that, but it is not a requirement. If you're like, I really want to get a new outfit and hairstyle for my model, but I know that the company's budget is a little tight because we have this project and this project and this project going on right now. I would like to put my own money into this. Is that okay? And then it would be, a conversation about which artist you're going through, how that would work with our process of updating models, all that nonsense. But at the end of the day, it would go into that area of the contract. So yes, you can do it. That's the short answer. Do you plan to have multiple gens in the future? And if so, will the recruitment be similar to the current one? Do I plan to? No. But let me explain. I think it would be nice to have a Gen 2 and further gens if things work out in the future to make sense to do that. However, I don't even want to consider that until a year from the debut of Conspiracy. That's really important. I want to make sure that there's enough time to allow Conspiracy to cook properly, to see how everything goes, to make sure everyone's happy. I want to make sure that the process is refined a bit. I want to make sure that all the kinks are worked out. I want to make sure that the process is working. If the process doesn't work and things fall through, it wouldn't make sense to have made plans or saved a budget or, you know, prepared for another wave of auditions. That's not fair. I've been in a lot of situations personally as a VTuber in agencies that did not work out, or one that did launch, or groups too, where before the generation that I came in on had time to cook, they were already adding more people. And I don't think that's smart. I don't think that's good. And the idea of like, oh, let's just, you know, throw a bunch of talent out there and hopefully one of them will pop off and then the rest of us will rise up with the... No, it doesn't work like that. I would rather take these people that have put their faith in me, that have trusted me, and I want to put that trust back into them too. I want to make sure that everything works with what I've got. I want to do what's right for them and for the company, and just prematurely adding another set of talent and more staff to work with that's not smart, and that's not fair. So definitely not planning for it. If everything goes great, yeah. If everything goes great, then yeah, we probably will have a Gen 2 someday. And the recruitment process will probably be similar. There could be some changes because, you know, we grow, we make mistakes, and we learn from those mistakes. That's what life is all about. Nobody is successful without making mistakes. So, I also want to say that so that, like, don't get your heart broken too much if, you know, you don't make it to the interview process, or you don't make it to the second stage, or whatever, you know. I know that sucks, but, like, there could be more chances later. This is a question about the revenue split. Already went over that. Will there be a VZatsu Minecraft's SMP? Probably not. Probably not. I personally, if you mean like for talent, probably not. I personally have a hard time sticking with Minecraft, and I know that I've been doing a Minecraft collab with some of my friends. And I love hanging out with them, but it is so hard for me to stay focused on Minecraft for more than like a week. It's so hard. Now, having like a survival Minecraft world for the community, like the VZatsu community, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, Chizu, if you answer this question, I'll donate $1. But what way would you prefer to pass away? What? What? What does this have to do with auditions? I want to pass away in a way that everybody knows that I was a star. How about that? So our audition... I can't read all of a sudden. Let me try again. Okay. Are auditions only being reviewed by me? No. There is another person reviewing auditions with me. This person will also be assisting in interviews. More on that when we are allowed to talk about it. How important is living near Seattle? Do not read this part out loud. Okay, I won't read this part out loud. It's not important. It's not important. It's more about like, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I would like, I have a 5-year plan. I know I did say I don't want to plan for stuff, but listen. If things go off, blow up, we do great, super successful, I would like to have a physical studio. Okay? where we could offer not just talent, but like the local area, like creators in the local area, a space to stream from if they need a special stream environment, a place to do voiceovers remotely that's professional. Like if somebody in Seattle does remote voice work and they need a professional studio to record a demo or like do a special session for like Crunchyroll or something, who knows? Whatever it is, we could offer that. A place to do choreography and motion capture. Like I want that. So like there's a central place that all of the VZatsu talent could go to do 3D concerts, all sorts of cool stuff like that. It would be really nice to have that, but also to have that space to lease out to local artists and things to help get another revenue stream in for the company. That's like a dream. I want that. I want to be able to do that. That's why that question is there. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. It's just a curiosity. All right. What's my favorite anime? Citrus. All right, what's the timeline look like for interviews and debut? How much time will pass between then and now? Okay, so we do not have a hard debut date, but we do have a window, what we're looking at. So, auditions close on Christmas Eve midnight. That's Christmas Eve morning, not Christmas Eve night. Okay, that's the morning. So on the 22nd or 23rd, when it's the 23rd and it's nighttime and you haven't got your audition in, you better get it in. Because once Christmas Eve rolls around, it's over. You're done. We'll give it about a week. By the end of that week, we'll have probably contacted people and scheduled interviews for January. I can't say how long that process is going to last, but it's probably going to take up the whole month of January. Because we'll probably want to do a second stage of like interview style things to make sure that people vibe and things like that. After that, I can't say. Because we have models to rig, we have other stuff to produce before debut that I can't talk about because it's NDA. So we're looking at spring. Probably April, May at the latest. I'm shooting for April though. I think we'll be able to do a debut in April, but I can't say for sure. I feel like there was a question in the chat that I missed, but I can't really take questions from chat yet. But we'll get there. Besides talent, are there any open positions? Not technically. Right now, we are not looking for any staff yet. Next year, we are probably going to be looking at a long-form video editor and or a music video editor. And maybe a talent manager. That's a big maybe, though, because so far I've been able to handle everything. We'll see how that changes when we get more talent, though. Just like I said earlier, send an email to team@VZatsu.com if you have qualifications for this kind of stuff with your portfolio and references or whatever. Have you started interviews? No, we probably will not start interviews until January. We will have a lot of auditions to go through. Can you resubmit an audition video? If you got sidetracked about technical details, forgot to be in character. Short answer is no. But I'm always willing to look at extenuating circumstances as long as it's fair to everybody else. Feel free to send an email to team@VZatsu.com about this. If we scuffed the video but aced other pieces, is there still a chance for us? Possibly. It depends on what you mean by scuffed the video. That depends. That depends, right? Is there a script or guidelines on what to say in character? No. It was suggested to me that I have a little script, but I felt like if it was scripted, that would defeat the purpose and spirit of the audition process for the video, because I want to see you improv a little bit. I want to see you develop the character in real time. I want to see you, like, I'm gonna give you a little hint about something. As a voice actress, this is something you learn. When you do auditions, you don't just go in and read the line. You study the lines. And you go think about, where are they saying this? Who are they saying this to? What happened right before they said this? What kind of person is this? What kind of life have they led? A lot of questions like that to help you in the moment say the line as that person, but with your own lived experience as well. So, like, it's a marriage of playing this part, but putting yourself there. Jun Yoon talks a lot about the Swiss cheese method. It's a lot like that. The character has a lot of holes in it, and you gotta fill those holes up with your life experience and stuff like that. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. Is it absolutely necessary to be able to use VBridger, or can you use different software when auditioning? VBridger is not a requirement. iPhone facial capture is not a requirement. I can work around that. If you use a webcam tracker, we'll work with that if you meet all the other criteria that we're looking for. Are we allowed to be working part-time, full-time, or finishing degrees while being a part of the company? Absolutely, 100%. While becoming a full-time VTuber sounds great, that's not something that we're 100% looking for in talent right now. Being able to stream, like, every day and, like, edit your own videos every day and, like, do a bunch of full-time work and stuff, that is definitely not a requirement. That is not technically what we're looking for in the first place, because the process and the model that we have going on allows for you to only have to worry about 9 hours a week of streaming. And then on the weekends or whatever, work on your big project for the month. That's the bare minimum. That's it. That's all. That's all you gotta worry about. Because we'll set it up to where you have pretty good engagement through multi-streaming to YouTube like I'm doing now, both horizontal and vertical, and setting it up to where it's super easy for you to get clips in the moment. Oh man, that was really funny. Press a button. Now you have a file to give to our editor. They edit it. They edit it, and then I upload it for you and do all the meta tags and all that nonsense for you. You don't have to worry about that stuff. And then whatever revenue is generated from it, you take 70%. I feel like that's a really good deal. I think that's pretty great. And that would allow you to do this while pursuing a degree of some kind or working a full-time job. I think that's good. So yes, you are definitely able to do that. How many auditions have you received so far? Do I want to say? Actually, let me look. Let me look if I've received any while I've been live. I don't know if I want to say. I don't want to say. I don't want to say yet. I'm keeping that one to myself. Someone asking about the revenue split. I already answered that question. It's 70% from streaming revenue, 20% from merch, 60% from sponsorships, and other authorized stuff that's not covered under those three areas would be 100% to the talent. Do you see what your coworkers look like, or does everyone just talk on FaceTime with models and stuff? Seeing your face is not a requirement. If, like, for some reason, talent that were interviewed wanted that as part of the experience to, like, I don't know, build trust with the team or something, I might consider it, because I'm not scared to do that. But I can't speak for everybody, because two talent besides me, they're not there yet. I can't say anything. I don't know, like, I don't have anything against it, but it's not something I would want to require, I don't think. Okay, let's see. Is VZatsu prepared for the whole VTuber companies don't make money until the 3rd year? Is there a long-term plan? So since we're not operating under an investor model like that, anybody that invests money into the company directly must do so with no strings attached. And that is for the benefit of the talent. I do not want creative control or decision-making power of the company to be in the hands of people that aren't creating for the company. That is extremely important to me. If that means we don't make bukus of money and can't do certain things for a while, I am completely okay with that, because creative control is number one. And that's not just for me. Someone might say, oh, Chizu wants all the control. That's crazy, first of all. Second of all, if somebody was like, I'm going to invest $50,000 into your company, I'm just throwing a number out there, that means I get to tell you what to do. And I don't want you to give your talent a say in anything. I don't want some situation like that to happen. I would much rather be able to talk things out with my talent and make agreements with the creative team. Yeah. Are you like CEO of that agency or main star? I am the president and owner. Technically, CEO is correct as well. I do own the company that the agency is based from. I'm not using the right words here. However, I don't want to call myself the main star. I know I'm debuting my new model next week. And that's mainly to show auditioning talent what they can expect for their models. It's not a full-on debut. I'm saving that for when I debut with everybody else, because I do not want to be seen as anything more than like a leader of the team. I am technically gonna be the talent's boss, but I don't want to be seen as that. I am a part of the team. I'm like the student council president of the school that doesn't exist. It's fake, right? But it's the magic of the thing, whatever. But like, student council president is still a student. I might be the owner of the company, but I'm a talent just like everybody else, and that's how I want it to run. I don't want to be seen as anything like more important than them. If anything, I want them to be shining stars. More so than me. I would rather have that. Definitely. I'm not trying to be king of the castle or some weird shit like that. But yeah, generally speaking, most companies do not make profit in their first 5 years. I've been running my own VTuber operations as a business for the past 3 years almost, and like last year was the first year I made a profit doing it. That's normal. That's normal. But we're gonna make sure we make good decisions so that we don't end up in debt or don't promise things that we can't actually do. And we're not gonna do things that we don't have the money to do. Because I don't want to be in a situation where, you know, somebody's like, well, we gave you this money for this project, so we expect it now, and if you don't, we're gonna steal your company from you, or we're gonna make you do things that you don't actually creatively want to do, or whatever. I don't want any of that. That's horrible. So yeah, long-term plan is, let's get VZatsu conspiracy off the ground. Let's see what our talents can do. Let's see what we're capable of. Let's see if the business model works even further than it has been already working for me. Because it has been working for me. Yeah, let's see what we can do. And if it works out, we'll see if we need to expand things further into more generations or other operations or whatever. We'll see what happens. I don't want to make promises. Will you adopt anyone's characters in the future? I think I already answered this one. It's definitely too early, but I also don't think so. We've been looking at audition videos, but we have not... We have been looking at audition videos and shortlisting people, but we have not reached out to anyone yet. We will not be doing that until the auditions close. As VZatsu grows, will the frequency of your streams decrease? No. In fact, as VZatsu grows, I think my streams will increase. Because right now, my streams are pretty short. And I'm still sticking with three streams a week. But as VZatsu grows and I'm able to delegate more things to other people, I will be able to have more time to stream longer. I'll have more energy for it. And I can stream more days, maybe even. So, hopefully that's the case. I don't think streams will decrease at all. Yeah. Is there a specific reason you're not hiring male talent for the first round of auditions? I don't mean to sound aggressive or rude, just curious. I do not see this as aggressive or rude in the slightest. I understand that a lot of people are, I'm not gonna say the word concerned. I don't think concern is the right word. But we're a really small operation. After everyone's selected, it's gonna be a very small team of like 6 people. Including me, talent, and support staff. Editors and things like that. It's important that we're all comfortable with each other. It's important that we can grow this properly, and it's important that we give ourselves the best chance to succeed long enough to see a day where we could have auditions for a male wave of talent. Yeah? Why don't try one day 4-hour model of streaming? That's not enough, in my opinion. So, it's not anything against guys. It's just market research shows there are more... that there's a bigger audience for girl VTubers than there is for guy VTubers at this time. And that's just how it is. That's just how it is. I don't know how else to put it. I'm sorry. What are these questions? Okay, I already answered that question. Will you supply sufficient personal protective equipment? I don't think OSHA applies to the type of work that we do. So, until we get a physical office location, probably not. That's a crazy question. Let's see. I was curious about the agency structure and hierarchy. Is it going to act more as a VTuber group that happens to also be an agency? Or is it going to function closer to a traditional agency? Somewhere in the middle. There is hierarchy, of course, because I own the company. So that inherently gives me more than everybody else. However, I don't want to operate that way either. So it's a little bit in the middle. I want to be professional. I want to produce content at the quality of a company like Hololive and Phase Connect. I want to enrich our talent to be able to produce streams at that level. I want that very much for all of us. But it's not going to be super like strict, oh my god, corporate culture either. It's a little bit in the middle. Why are you at this question in need of a lane closure on a two-way roadway? I'm not a city planner. I can't answer questions like that. What creative direction is the agency headed toward? The only mention of a goal is quality entertainment, which is quite vague. So right now, I can't give away a lot of information because that would be under NDA and I don't want to give away a lot of surprises and cool stuff. But like, you know, we do plan to do, you know, musical entertainment and other produced stuff. And I do want to give some freedom to the talent to make some things that might be a little unorthodox. For instance, I've uploaded some long-form video essay type content. YouTube doesn't really like that I did that, but I did it anyway. More traditional style stuff is probably going to be in the works, but I would like to do some things that are a little bit different for the VTuber community that everybody knows. VZatsu record label? That'd be crazy. Ayo! Thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate that. That's incredible. Thank you, Brawling Virgins. Hope you're taking care of yourself. Is voice acting experience required? That's a preferred thing, not a requirement. This question is similar. It says, will you open auditions in the future to non-female presenting talents? I'm sure that we will have general auditions open someday if things are successful to allow that to be more open. I know that's been disappointing for a lot of people. But I gave an answer about that already. Hopefully in the future we can wiggle a little bit more with that. I already answered the question about adult content. Hi, I'm a new voice actor in Sing. I recorded reels and singing sample just for VZatsu, but I wanted to ask, how would VZatsu continue to support my skill improvement? I've been taking private singing lessons and would I receive additional support? I would love to be able to do that. I think if working with the budget that we have for debut, after debut, a similar budget could be, you know, used to provide development for talent skills. I do want to be able to do that. I think that's really important. It's something I was promised in my previous agency, and it was just a lie. So I cannot confirm that that will happen, but I can say I would love to make that happen. I've already done a lot that was promised in my previous agency, in my own agency, that never happened for me before. I think that's great, and I think the possibility of making these things realized it's greater than 0%. But I can't promise. For those of us who don't make it this round, would our auditions be considered for future generations? I think we'll open a new audition. And rather than be like, this is just the one audition and you can't audition again, I think I would just rather give people another chance to try again, rather than consider their audition this time around. If that makes sense. Plus, if we do it this way, if we do it next time like we did last time, this time, whatever. If we do it again in this way where you're auditioning for a pre-established role, the roles will be different, so you'll have to audition again. You know what I mean? Who will be reviewing auditions? If staff, do you have a committee for this? I guess you could call it a committee. It's not just me. I do have another person that is going through auditions with me that I trust a lot. And you know, if our stuff is pretty unanimous when we shortlist a person. I'll say that. So, what level of security will you offer to your future VTubers to ensure their privacy safety? Okay. This is a really good question. All right. So, our agency has a post office box. So anything that has to go through mail can go through the agency's address to protect the talents from having to share their physical address. Anything that would require them to sign with their legal name could be signed by me as a representative of the company instead of them. So, like, I'm taking on the full liability of privacy stuff here, so that they can remain protected and stuff. So there's that. There's guidelines. We have a thing that's part of the contract that's also like a talent handbook that describes privacy stuff, how to keep yourself safe from people doxing you through photographs, if you take pictures of like your food orders in your house, things like that. What's okay to talk about in terms of your private life, because like we have not like the super highest level of kayfabe, but it's important. It's important for privacy reasons, but it's also important for, you know, content reasons. It's part of the magic, in my opinion. It's a requirement. So like talking about your private life is not a thing you should be doing. And you know, I can help figure out ways to talk about certain life situations in a way that not everybody's gonna immediately know what you're talking about. Obviously I cannot give examples because that would mess up my privacy. But there are a lot of OPSEC things in place to help ensure that our talent stays, like their private life stays private and their identity stays private. So yeah, that's a really good question. Will the debuts be self-guided by the new talents, or will they be arranged or structured? There is a structure, but we're flexible. So like there is a plan for how the debuts for everyone will go. There is already a basic structure for how that's going to look. But again, a lot of it is going to be under the control of the talent themselves. So, you know, she will be able to determine the sort of stuff that she's going to talk about. But there's going to be stuff that I would like to be included. But at the end of the day, it's mostly up to them. There are some things that are going to be definitely a part of it. But it's going to be a little bit of both. Structure is good, guys. Don't be afraid of structure. What's the hardest part about being in an agency? Being in an agency? I don't know. The hardest part of running one is not being afraid of public opinion. Because, oh boy, there's been some stressful stuff going on. But I can handle it. What are you looking in a VTuber? Age, gender, viewer count, country of origin, language, or streaming website? Experience streaming with YouTube is a plus, but not required. English is a required language. It does not have to be your first language, but you do have to be proficient with it. Country of origin doesn't matter. Viewer count does not matter. Age matters because you have to be at least 18 at the time of auditioning. That means right now. You gotta be 18, not a month from now. No. And yeah, there are gender requirements, which you can read about in the application. Thank you, Perfect Cell. Will VZatsu have an official theme song or like an opening? So, for those of you that have been around for a while, you know that I've had my streams with an anime-style opener, right? I've opened my streams with an anime-style OP for the last couple of years. When I debuted the model you're looking at right now in October of 2023, that was the first time I had an anime OP. And I had one for Season 2 as well. And I've been using the Season 1 OP for my streams lately, but I've learned that that's not really that important. That was more for me. Because I was like, haha, look, I have an anime OP because my stream is like a show. I don't need that. I don't need that. So, I will not have one after today. Today is the last stream that I have with the anime OP. I will not have one anymore on my show. They'll still be available to watch on YouTube, but no more anime OPs. However, will VZatsu have an official theme song or like opening? Sort of. Sort of. How about femboys? Read the requirements on the application. Yeah, just watch it before the stream, that's true. It will still exist. And there will sort of be an official theme song and opening for VZatsu, but it's not gonna happen at the beginning of all the streams or in the way you think. I cannot say anything else about that. If someone is less talented than others but has a good personality, are they still considered? Criteria that we are criteria that we're looking for when considering somebody for interview is not concrete. There are some things we are definitely looking for, but personality is important too. So, really, it's just, if you don't think you're talented enough, but you want to audition, please do it anyway. Please do it anyway. If you're watching this and you think that you're not good enough to audition, please do it anyway. Because you don't know. You won't know. And even if you do it and don't get an email or anything like that, it's still a learning experience. And you won't learn anything if you don't do it. Do you know how many times I auditioned for VTuber agencies since 2023? You guys want to know? Before I finally said, you know what, I'm just gonna do this myself after I experienced Avalon stuff and all that mess. Like 10 times. In 2 years, I auditioned for stuff like 10 times. I did a lot more voice acting auditions than that, but we're counting that in a separate pile. That's a different thing. But yeah, at least 10. It's a learning experience. If you don't think you're good enough, just do it anyway. Please. Please don't limit yourself just because you think that you're not talented enough. You won't know until you try. Because trust me, I wouldn't feel like I'm good enough for this. I wouldn't. And I can tell you right now, some of the people that have auditioned that I'm considering, because they're shortlisted, I'm just saying, I bet you some of them don't think they're worth it either. Please. Please don't doubt yourself. Just do it anyway. Can you tell us more about the new talents in terms of how they act? Are you talking about the characters? All I can tell you is what's on the website and what's in the application. I can't give you more information than that right now. That's a good example. Mori thinks her music is bad. That's silly. She's great. Do you want us to show our experience portfolio with streaming in the video? You can show that a little bit. Show your personality too. I don't want you to just come in and read lines as a character. I want you to show me what that character would be like if you were in their shoes. Put yourself in there. But also, you can spend a little bit of those 5 minutes talking about things you've accomplished and stuff. But if you just make an audition video where you do that, I'll know if it's like something you posted every audition that comes out. I'll know if it's not a video you made specifically for this audition. We'll know. We'll know. Okay, I'm just telling you right now, we'll know. Don't even try it. Make a new one. The lifestyle change? A big part about being a corporate agency, VTuber style, like, you know, kayfabe, high kayfabe, is like wanting to talk about a lot of things but not being able to. And I mean, I would hope that me and the future talents would be able to support each other in a way that's like real. I don't want just I'm clocking in, I'm doing my stream, okay, bye. Like, if that happens, then that happens. If somebody makes it through all the rounds and is selected but ends up being like, I'm clocking in, I'm doing my streams, okay, bye, then that happens. But I would much rather have an environment where we lean on each other. If that makes sense. And I don't know where this is coming from. I'm talking about the kayfabe. You will have people to talk to about your problems. You won't be alone. Alright? I'm totally fine. If you make it in and we're working closely together, you can talk to me about stuff that's like that if you need to. I'm okay with being that. I used to do that for a living. Any other specific skills you're looking for? Just stuff that's in the application. If you think you have a skill that's not listed that would apply and make you stand out, please include it. I already answered the question about that. That's actually word for word the same question. Are you looking for expecting slating? Not necessarily, but it would be okay if you did. Will all applicants be contacted? No. After the auditions close, we will probably be contacting everybody to schedule an interview before the new year. If you're not contacted by January 1st, that's probably it. That just means you didn't make it to the interview process. And that sucks. I know that sucks. I know if that happens, that sucks. And that's probably not a good way to start the new year. It's better than being told on Christmas Day, but it still kind of sucks. So, sorry. This is a tough thing. But hopefully if you audition and you don't make it to an interview process, you learn from that. I don't think we would be able to have the capability to answer anybody's questions about that. About why they didn't get in or anything like that. So sorry about that in advance too, because we are a very small team. And, you know, we will be very busy. So that's just the way that goes. That's pretty industry standard. So sorry in advance. My favorite anime is Citrus. Okay. I'm just throwing out answers to questions like that in the middle of this. How much collaboration between members is to be expected and in what ways? I don't want to make like a hard requirement for that. But I'm hoping that most of the collabs, like, I want there to be a period of no external collabs for a while to help us get to know each other better. But that's also going to happen off stream. When talents are selected and they make it to the end and they're ready to, and they're signed on and on board and all that stuff, there's going to be time between that happening, them making hiatus announcements on their current stuff, whatever that is, if they have to, and debuting. There will be a bit of time while things are still getting prepared. So during that time, there's going to be a lot of team building activities. I think that's really important. You know, we need to figure out how to play off of each other well during streams and what's okay to talk about, what each other's boundaries are. Those sorts of things are really important. And it's important for building chemistry and on-stream rapport. So I would hope that there's excitement and enthusiasm in collabing with each other. Not every stream should be a collab, of course, but yeah, like, I would hope that we would want to collab with each other regularly. Like, maybe once a week or something, like 1 or 2 people here or there, and then big events maybe once a month or something, you know? Like, if we don't want to do this together as a team, what's the point of this? You know? Let's see. I'm new to singing a VA, but I've been taking lessons to improve. I made a beginner reel to include in my audition, but wanted to ask if you had any suggestions for things to focus on to continue to improve. I don't know who... This is anonymous, so I don't know who I'm looking at when you ask me this question. And I have not watched any audition material in like a week. So this, what, Wednesday? Tuesday? I don't know. It's been a minute. There's been quite a few new audition submissions since then, and I don't know who you are. Focusing and continuing to improve. If you're asking for like voice acting tips, that's so broad. I wouldn't know how to answer your question. I'm sorry. I don't know how to answer your question right now. Is having a laugh at least as cute as yours a requirement? That's... No, it's not a requirement. Okay. I think we might be... Let's see. Is it possible? If a possible talent has Windows 11 laptop, would that affect the auditioning process? No, I am currently streaming from a setup that includes 2 Windows 11 PCs. It's possible. It kind of sucks. But if you've seen my content, you know it works. So that is not a determining factor. Are you guys watching the views or downloading them? Oh, okay, this is a great question. Will you guys watch each video? This is a great question. Great question. I love this question. Okay. I am using a tool to download the videos without altering the view count of the videos. So if you submitted an audition a week ago, and you're like, it says 0 views, it says 0 views. We've watched it. Don't worry about that. That's because if we watch it multiple times, we don't want it to affect that. Like, Your view counts are gonna say 0, but I promise you we are watching the videos. We are just downloading them locally. Thank you for that question. That's a good one. How large are you planning to have your short list? How many people are on it already? I cannot answer that question because I don't know how big it should be. I don't want to put a hard limit on it. And I also don't want to tell you how many people are on it. That's a secret. What skills get you shortlisted? There's not like a hard list of skills that would get you shortlisted. It's more about your presentation. It's more about your attitude. It's more about your personality. It's more about how you fit with the character, your cadence, your performance. Like it's not strictly about your skills. It's about your ability to be the character, which sucks. And this is important. This is really important for a lot of people to hear. Because even if you make it to the interview process and you don't make it, this is important because I've experienced this. And a lot of other people have. I am confident in my skills. I have been for a while. But I know, based on some of the auditions that I went through and the people that got to the finish line, that I was not who they were looking for to play those parts. A lot of times during an audition, people have a very clear idea of what they want. Or at least a vague, like, blob of what they're looking for in a talent. Or the type of character they want them to play. And if you don't fit that, you won't know why you didn't make it. That happens a lot. So don't get too down. Okay? Because it's not all about skill. Like, if you have all the skills in the world, but you just don't have the right vibe for the character, then unfortunately that's what's gonna happen. And that's not supposed to be about, like, that. You're skilled. You're obviously skilled. Please. Continue to pursue things. And maybe one day we'll have something that does fit you better in the future. Who knows? Ah! My list refreshed while I was looking at it. Upon debut, will the characters be interviewed by someone? No. That is not the format that we will be doing for debuts. Somebody that knows my history asked this question, and I think that's funny. Who cares about skills if you can ride controllers? Hey, wait a minute. That's crazy. This is a question about background checks. If necessary, we will do that. But it's more about social media. You mean like criminal background checks? That seems a bit excessive. That seems a bit excessive. But like, we're definitely going to be looking at people's social media to make sure that they're not engaging in discourse that would be problematic to VZatsu or behaviors that would not be appropriate. Are you willing to work with someone who wants to do hand cam streams or even streams making cosplays for VZatsu? I'm a cosplayer of 8+ years auditioning and would love to bring those skills to a unique VTuber approach. I am okay with that. We'd have to talk about like some limitations and some rules to make sure you don't get doxxed, and how to set up your hand cam streams and any other type of cosplay stuff to make sure you don't dox your living area or your face. Probably. But it's not off the table. I would be willing to talk to somebody about that if they made it to the interview process. All right, I think we're done with those. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm going to remove the link. I'm gonna remove the link. No more of those questions. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is take some questions from the audience for a moment, and then I'm gonna show you guys something. How's the weather overseas? The weather's fine here. It's cold. I like it. I like the winter. Have I ever heard of Mary Poppins? Yeah. Would you ever pay your employees in coupons? No. I pay everyone that works for VZatsu according to pre-arranged rates between me and the person I'm paying. Nobody has ever worked for VZatsu for free. Nobody has ever worked in a contractor position for free. Moderators volunteer, but that's it. Everybody else that has done work for my company has gotten paid for it at a rate they agreed at to get paid at. I refuse to allow someone to do work for my company for free. That's crazy. Can VZatsu teach me how to do math? No, I don't know how to do math. You're crazy. Good night, Red Wolf. Nobody yet. There's an untapped potential in there for coupons? You're crazy. You're crazy. Sorry, I can't help with math. Bum ba da bum bum bum. You were voluntarily in the basement. Yeah, it's true. All right. Is that it? No questions? I'm surprised. That took up the whole, 2 hours. I only planned to go for 2 hours. I still got more to talk about. I did go over a lot. I sure did. I hope I didn't say something stupid. My brain is very much like, Chizu, you said the stupidest shit ever, and everyone on the internet is gonna call you stupid and say you're unqualified to do this and hate on you forever. I love my brain so much for that. Can you receive V-Bucks as payment? No. That's crazy. Robux either. No Robux. Is VZatsu bigger than a bread box? I suppose, because, I am. Am I ready for the debut? No. Nope, I'm not. It's months away, thank goodness. I have plenty of time to get ready. I'm not ready. The assets aren't ready. But the process is there. We're in the process. Everything's moving forward at a rate that I'm happy with. Any ideas for any kleptomaniac characters in the future? Like Gollum? Really? Like Gollum? I can't say. A raccoon would be very cute. A raccoon that likes to hide things. That's kind of cute. Although ravens kind of do that too. That's true. That's my legacy. Yeah, don't ask for permission to ask the question. Just ask the question. Can I volunteer music, art, or animation or video editing as a form of supporting company? If you mean fan work stuff, take a look at the fan works guidelines on the website. Anybody is free to do that. Will employee benefits be free time outside? Yes, with a bag of Cheez-Its. Or walking tacos. Magpies also do that. That's true. Lots of birds do that. All right. I want to show you guys something. We have a new logo. The official logo. Oh, wait. I have a question here. Does your VTuber have a tail? Yeah. Yep, I sure do. VZatsu Conspiracy. The first wave of talent. from VZatsu has an official logo now. Would you guys like to see it? Would you guys like to see it? I like it a lot. It was made by All Ages of Geek. We've been working with them a lot lately, and I really like working with them. They're a really cool independent company that works with other independent companies, and I love them. I love them very much. Here, let me show you. Let me show you this logo. What do you guys think about this? Do you like it? Do you like this logo? Take a look at it. Can you see all the people? Can you guess all the symbols? Do you see what do the symbols mean? I want to know what your conspiracy theories are. What do you think? Have I ever thought about changing the avatar? My debut of my new model is next week, so I'll be changing it then. On shorts, all it says is, yeah, you know what? I can probably move that. Let me move that around for the people on the vertical. Let me move that around a little bit. Look at that logo, guys. What do you think about this logo? You see the compass? Yeah, there's a compass. That's mine. The compass is mine. Why a lily? That's a higanbana. That's a grave lily. That has to do with Michelle. I almost said a real name. I want you guys to know that too, by the way. The names of the characters aren't the ones on the application. Those are hidden names. You can't know their real names yet. Are you expecting your talents to be in character during streams or on audio play if they are planning to do ASMR or audio content? Yes. For ASMR stuff, it can be a little bit more flexible, but like lore-wise, but they still gotta be in character. That's part of the magic. It's really important. It's like going to Disney World and meeting Mickey Mouse or something. Like, the magic is important. You think I funnily covered myself is true? I'm not your wife. What are you talking about? My mom won't let me date. I definitely don't have any wives. Can't wait for more teasers. It reminds me of skateboard stuff. Hell yeah. But yeah, there's a compass and a flower and a bamboo thing and what does that say? Clearly the bamboo means a red panda girl. No. She's a badger. She's a badger. The spell is the bird. The spell? What's the spell? Why is my symbol a compass? Because it's Hoji. But I'm the leader of conspiracy. I'm the leader. I'm the student council president. And I lead my fellow students to the future or something. You like the glitch effect? Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? She's not a red panda. She's a badger. Yeah, they're crazy. Badger's a cougar. You mean like my mom? Just kidding. Just kidding. That's crazy. She's not a red panda. She's a badger. It's because of the bamboo, isn't it? Everybody thinks the bamboo means she's a panda. She's a badger. The bamboo just represents her strength. It's kind of like the occult club from JJK. I don't know anything about that show. I don't watch a lot of shonen. I almost called her the wrong name again. Michelle is the occult club president. She's a raven. She's a raven. She's a necromancer or something. I haven't seen her do any magic spells though. It's all a red herring and it's actually a sugar cane. That's funny. I'm not a weed cat either. Wow, that's crazy. What do the symbols mean, chat? What do all the symbols mean? We're hunting cryptids? Yeah, actually that is kind of the premise of the conspiracy unit. I can't explain though. I cannot explain what that means though. Square goes into the square hole? Yeah, I guess. That's fair. Earth, wind, and fire? Cryptids or yokai? Probably both. My mom is a nice lady. She's so nice. Lily obviously means Yuri because lilies mean Yuri. I mean, that's fair. Okay, I can dig it. We do go to an all-girls school. That is true. It's so funny. Am I gonna play Resident Evil? Maybe someday. Man. You intend to eventually entomb yourselves in pyramids? That's crazy. Where's the pyramids? There's pyramids here? I don't see any pyramids. I see a bunch of exclamation marks. And a compass. And a higanbana. And a bamboo. And something else. What is that? You know what that is? What is that, guys? Do you know what that is? I don't know what that is. Huh. Weird. Is there gonna be a toggle for every single model where you've all got bread or toast? No. No. Not... That would be a specific thing. Whenever the models start getting produced, the talent will have an opportunity to decide what kind of expression and toggles they get from the artist and which ones I will be able to add as the rigging animator. I see 4 danger signs. What's up, danger? What's up, danger? Practice target? You think that's like a bullseye? Huh. Maybe. Just, it's interesting. There's a compass and a lily and a bamboo and a bunch of exclamation marks and then one other symbol all by itself. Huh. Is it a bullseye? You think it's a bullseye? I like your conspiracy theory. I like your theory. Ravens are my favorite corvids. They live at high altitudes. Used to train ravens. That's cool. French fries. Wow. That's neat. I think birds are neat. So in the Zatsu verse, are we all just monitoring y'all in containment from a remote location? I don't know how to answer that. Is it a sun? I don't know, maybe. It could be a sun. Ooh, it could be a sun. What does that mean? A blue sun? It's blue. It's blue. Like, you can see, like, mine is green. It's a compass. And the spider lily thing is purple. So that's definitely Michelle's. And then the pink one, that's bamboo. That's definitely Jamie's. So what's this other one? That's crazy. I don't know what that means. What does it mean? What does it all mean, chat? What do the signs mean? I don't know. I bet that bullseye is Shinji trying to aim their way into VZatsu to Riz. That's funny. That's funny. How do you feel about the meme reset in January? Early? It happens, you know. Sometimes the memes reset. It's fine. Blue Moon, because Blue Moon is delicious. Well, like, the beer? We go to a girls' school. Like, we ain't be drinking. I can drink, though. I can totally drink. If your agency is school student council, it means that after 3 years of working with you, I can get a diploma? Are you asking if I can help you get a GED? Because, like, short answer, no. But, like, I don't know how to... What? These are all just experiments that we're privy to. Okay. You can post your Raven objects in the Discord server. In the media share. A circle. Maybe a shield. Ooh, it could be a shield. It could be a shield. A shield, huh? Like you wear on your arm, like a buckler? Or like a metaphorical shield, like to shield from something. I like your conspiracy theories. A bullseye or a target or maybe an eye. Ooh, an eye? Oh, it does kind of look like that too. It could be that. The three shall not meet. We must keep the three from meeting. That's funny. If you stack 2 pizzas, is that a sandwich? Sure. A pizza by itself folded over is a sandwich. Any thoughts on the theory of the stars being breathing holes in the lid of the universe? I don't know anything about that. I'm not a scientist. It could be a boob. A blue boob. Wow, it could be. Maybe one of them vintage hubcaps from cars during the 50s? Yeah, maybe it's a mobster. Maybe it means a mobster. That would make sense with the bullseye too. I don't know though. So, wait! So is this the 4th object another person? Is it? Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be crazy? A pizza folded over as a taco? Yeah, but a taco is a sandwich. Anyway. A blue booby bird? What? That's absurd. Another person or common theme or goal? It could just be that. Yeah, it might just be. It could just be a red herring, even though it's blue. It's a blue herring. A bird is a red herring a fish, or is it a bird? I don't know. What's a red herring? That's a fish, right? It's actually just Natalia. That's a good theory. I don't think so. Natalia is not. As far as I know, Natalia is not auditioned. But that's, you know, that's none of my business. That's crazy. I'm a fox. You're a fox. Yeah, I'm not a fox. YouTube, stay out of this. I'm not a fox. I think a red herring is a fish. I don't know. You thought it was a fish? Yeah, maybe it is a fish. But that has nothing to do with this logo. I think I'm gonna put it away now. I think I'm gonna put it away. Your conspiracies have to wait. No more conspiracies. You can't look at it. It's going away. Goodbye, conspiracy logo. We'll post that later. So you can make your conspiracy theories up about whatever that was going on. I don't know. That's weird. That wasn't even there before. Like when they showed that to me, it was just like the compass and the flower and the bamboo. That other thing wasn't even there. And then I opened it on stream and it was there. That really freaked me out. I think I'm haunted. I think we're haunted. Uh-oh. Who let the ghost in? Emmy, did you do this? Koji, do you know anything about this? How do I remove this from the... There we go. I don't want that in the scene anymore. Okay. Any more burning questions? You can still throw theories out if you want, but I had to put the image away. Any more questions? Is it a ghost girl? Wait, what do you mean? Is it a ghost girl? Maybe it's a way out of the basement. I really like that one. Where does the boat go? Boat goes Pinted. Duh. Duh. I'm just being smug now. Red or green chilies? Both. I take my enchiladas Christmas style. I care for your safety. Be safe out there. Take good care of yourself. Is that it? Looks like a Pokemon trainer? So do you. Go back to the Pokemon Academy. I'm not a fox, so I don't know. Natalia, what are you doing? Can you laugh some more? This is a burning question. I mean, I laugh all the time. Will you still be turning into an Eldritch Eye Stalk demon? Maybe for Halloween. I might have a Halloween update next year. I haven't decided yet. I'm kind of trying to drift away from that canon a little bit. It's still part of the canon, but like, I'm just Chizu. I'm a coyote, and I want to be seen as a coyote. I don't want people to think of me as that thing. So I'm not gonna show it anymore. Plus, it's a little confusing for branding. You're so glad that... I'm not saying that. I think that might what got me in trouble last time. I said something last time that got my stream views suppressed. I can't remember what it was. And I think I maybe did it again. No, I didn't. It was just... it's just a slow night. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay. Am I still in your walls? Probably. Yeah, it's okay though. I don't mind too much. Things are still going well. Leftovers. I'm hungry. The password to your Chiz cord? Becoming a Patreon subscriber or a YouTube member or a server booster. That's how you get into that section. Wait, no. That's not the right section. That's just if you select... Wait, I'm so confused about what you mean. I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired now. Alright, cool. Feel free to join the Discord server. The VZatsu official Discord server. The circle. Sorry, behind. Oh. I was so confused. Please consider joining the Discord server. We do community nights regularly. We're not doing one this week because my debut is on Sunday and I'm taking a break. But the following week we will do VR chat or something, and it'll be fun. And feel free to go there and talk about your conspiracy theories regarding VZatsu conspiracy. We eat Cheez-Its and talk about anime in the VC, it's true. We play a lot of video games in the VC. I'm probably going to be hanging out there later, but I can't say for sure. It all depends. I might need to eat a snack. I am quite hungry. Buy your advance.gg. Yeah, go to advance.gg. You can save 10% off your order by using code Chizu at checkout. And I have a new green ice shaker. What's the Wi-Fi password? Did you try password? You don't have to tell me that. You don't have to tell me that you do that. Just do it quietly. I'm okay with it. I just don't want to hear about it. Because that sets the wrong vibe for chat, okay? It's none of my business what you do with my content quietly. Or loudly, but privately. Never mind. People be saying that stuff sometimes, you know? You should see my Instagram comments. They're not much better. Anyway. Post it on main, loud and proud. I mean, that's fine. I'm cool. Just don't do it in the chat. Don't say that in the chat. You know? I like that. What's the Wi-Fi password? Why do you want the Wi-Fi password? I wanna look at TikToks, but I don't want to use my phone's data. So what's the password? Why do you want the Wi-Fi password? I just told you. What? Why don't you just give me the password? What's the password? Why do you want the Wi-Fi password? I already told you. Why do you want? That's really funny. I like that. Fiva, that's... People don't talk like that. People are gonna think you're talking about something else. Alright. I'm already insane. What are you talking about? Fiva is so unk. That's true. It's okay, though. It's okay. You know why, Fibo? Because you got wabi-sabi. It's okay that you're wrong, because you got wabi-sabi. Ah, man. I need to go. Take care of yourselves and stuff, okay? Next time you see me, I won't look like this. I'll have a new model. 6 p.m. Pacific time, next Sunday, December 7th. Be here. Is that right? Let me double check and make sure that's the right day. It is. Okay, cool. Next week, December 7th. New model. Please come see it. Please. Mark your calendar. It's gonna be a fun time. Okay. Thanks for joining me for these questions and answers. Had a great time. Okay. Okay, bye. Bye. See you next time. Bye. See you next time.